Decentralized computing is really important for our future because it gives access to anyone to these powerful tools that allow you to basically train a machine learning model or render your 3D graphics like it's the case with Render. And in this video I want to talk more about Render. I have covered it briefly in my videos about different AI coins, data coins, but in this video I just want to have a deep dive into Render, so let's talk about that. I really like the approach they are taking. Basically, Render token allows any artist to use the GPUs that are idle to use that for the rendering, because usually, if you don't know, rendering really takes a lot of time and effort to render complicated 3D scenes or like special effects to the movies, stuff like that. So you need to really have a lot of power to do that. And one thing is going to one of the cloud providers and using their software, but it's often super technical. Other way is basically using Octane and then the render token. So actually I want to start with Octane more than with the render network, because as you can see, the render network was founded by Jules Urbach, CEO of OTOY, and it's really interesting because OTOY itself is a well-run company from 2006. You can already see it's been running for quite some time, and they really specialize in this 3D design. So if you look at the company, then you will see it right away. They've been running from 2008. That was the time of when they were founded by Jules and Malcolm, and been growing in LA with over 60 employees right now. So this is like a proper company doing cloud graphics, pioneering technology, redefining content creation, basically helping artists and helping all the people related to films, content industry, so animators, designers, architects, engineers, and more, provide them with the tools and freedom so that they can only focus on the creative process rather than the technology. So it's not like the render token was founded by just guys in the crypto space. Though this is the real company behind the render token, and this is something that already gives me a really great vibe starting with the render token, because you know that there are experts behind the scenes that and the whole idea for the token actually came from the real use case, because they already have this kind of technology. So this is really great. If you want to go to the website, and you can listen to the founder talk about the vision for democratizing GPU cloud rendering. I like this vision also because it goes beyond rendering. You can also think about decentralized machine learning. This is something that I'm passionate about. So decentralizing access to AI training, to using the different AI models. This is really important and will be even more important in the future. So as you can read, the render network is designed to connect users looking to perform render jobs with people who have idle GPUs to process the renders. Owners would connect the GPUs to the render network in order to receive and complete rendering jobs using Octane Render. Users would send RNDR to the individual performing the render work, and OTOY would receive a small percentage of a render for facilitating the transaction and running the render network. So the business model here is super clear. Basically, they are the render network itself is basically the marketplace of idle GPUs and artists wanting to use those GPUs for rendering. Artists pay with tokens to the renderers, and renderers receive these tokens minus the small fee going to the render network. So this is really a sustainable business model. Of course, everything depends on the proportions, on the cost, and so on. But basically, this is a well-organized business model. So this is really, really great. And this solves a real problem where artists really are facing, that is basically you have, in order to be in state-of-the-art graphics, you need to have access to the best technology, and it's not always possible, but someone somewhere has this access and maybe can give it to you for the small payment. So it's really, really great. And there are different scalability here problems being solved as well. Better use of GPU power. So it's really, really great. This is how it looks like in the end. So user requesting a job, sending RNDR tokens, then the render network processes that, and then render tokens are going to the user processing the jobs again. So this is the cycle here. As you can see, this is the team, founder of Render, also founder of OTOY here, many people on the team, and you can go also to the white paper out above. Let's go into that. The paper is from 2017 itself, so that was the peak of ICOs in 2017. But basically what it's saying is that imagine the possibilities in a world where physically correct rendering tasks are completed quickly and efficiently in a blockchain-based peer-to-peer network with no error or delay and with securely protected property rights. And this is basically what Render Token is building, and this is super interesting. The token Render Token white paper is pretty short, it's just 10 pages, so really recommend it. It's basically giving you the background on what is rendering, then what OTOY is doing basically. You can see this rendering pioneers with a proven track record, so you can see what they have been doing. Then they talk about cloud-based rendering and solving the inefficient rendering problem. So they give you this entry into what really Render Token is doing, Render Network is doing, and why it's important. And I really like that. So it's something worth reading, especially if you're not coming from this perspective of being a 3D artist. I'm definitely not, so that was a great read. Yeah, this is the white paper. Also, if you go to Twitter of either Render Network or OTOY, you will see that it's even mentioned here at OTOY. You can see that there's a lot happening. Basically, they talk with the artists, they provide different artist profiles, and they really engage with what people are creating. So for example, here's this the interaction with Beeple. Beeple himself is using Render Network for rendering and using Octane, so that's a good recommendation already. And there's a bunch of other artists as well on the platform, and there are like many interesting issues they raise. So this is an example of well thought out business model using blockchain that I really like. So this is of course not a financial recommendation. Always do your research if you want to invest anything, but from the perspective of the product, from the perspective of the business, this really makes sense. I really like what I'm seeing, and also this plays into this bigger narrative that we want to decentralize computing, and we want to have everyone access democratically to any kind of resources that we have online, be that computing power, storage, or anything else. So Render Network is definitely doing that great. Of course, that doesn't imply that you should buy or sell the token. The price action, of course, especially in crypto, totally depends on the social prospects. It's all about trading attention. So I'm not talking about the trading part here, and it's definitely not a financial advice. But on the educational side, definitely what Render Network is doing is great and awesome. So read more about that, and you can jump into the ecosystem, talk with the people inside on their Discord, which I would recommend. And thank you for watching. So this is it. Subscribe to my channel for more updates on AI crypto coins, decentralizing computing, democratizing access to AI, and much more in the crypto ecosystem. Subscribe and see you in the next video.